This show furnished by Solomon Financial Mortgage and Realty.
This is the Solomon Free Money Hour.
Good morning. Welcome to the Solomon Free Money Hour, the show that's here to teach you what you need to know about real estate finance, and real estate investment. We're here with our real estate guru, Fred Solomon, who has been at this for 30 years plus with an A-plus rating with the Better Business Bureau the whole time. He's really been doing a great job in keeping LA informed, and he is here to help you once again here on this great station, AM 1070. Fred, thank you so much for joining us.
Hey, good morning, Cal. Good 6:30 in the morning, but we're here up and early. A lot of stuff's going on in the market right now. There's this new law that says if you want to buy a house today, you got to be represented. And when you're represented, you need to sign an agreement with your realtor. That is the new law. Otherwise, the realtor could be doing all this work and not get paid. You know, it's not fun to go to work and not receive a paycheck for doing so. And it's not necessarily the buyer that pays it. It still is the seller, but it's not a commission, it's a concession.
Okay, what's the difference between a commission and a concession?
Well, basically, you have to ask permission for the seller to pay you. But think about it. You know, things have been going along for 50-something years where the sellers have always paid the commission to the agent representing the buyer. If they decided to stop doing that because they catch wind of this new law and they decided to stop paying the buyer's realtor, are you going to, as a realtor, are you going to show that house?
I don't have any motivation, no.
Not if you're not going to get paid.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's got to feed their family.
So why would someone not do that, right? You're limiting the amount of people out there that would be willing to show your house for sale and let the community know or let your buyers know. So if you're a seller and you're listening and you're thinking about selling right now and your realtor explains what I'm explaining to you, why don't you call me so I can give you some advice? Advice that will help you make smart choices when it comes to selling your property today. And this is only one of the things that we help sellers with when we make smart choices. Another thing is that what other realtors don't do is they don't go take you around and show you all the homes that are for sale in your neighborhood. They'll show you the comps, the ones that have already sold. But what about the ones that are currently available for sale? Wouldn't you want to know what your competition is if you're a seller? If you're a buyer, the buyers are going to go look at all of them. Just like when you buy a car, you don't look at the first car that you see, and you don't buy the first car that you see. You look at a bunch of them. And when you're a seller, you have to do the same thing. You have to look at what your competition is so you know how your house compares. So that way, when there's another house that comes on the market with a similar square footage as yours, and it's the same price as yours, but it's a lot nicer than yours, and you ask your realtor this following question: why isn't my house selling? Right? Well, guess what? It's because you didn't check out the competition and you don't know what all the homes that are in your neighborhood look like compared to yours. And if I'm a seller and I'm selling, I'm going to go look at all the homes that are available for sale. There are so many things that you need to do to protect yourself as a buyer. There's something called the TDS, the Transfer Disclosure Statement, the Seller Property Questionnaire, the SPQ. Those are two very important documents that you need to be aware of as a buyer when you buy a property. Going to buy a house today without a real estate agent is the equivalent of committing a crime and going to court without an attorney. Now, 80 to 90% of the transactions are always going to be okay. It's that 10 or 20% that we're talking about that if you would have had that real estate agent that can represent you and not cost you any money as long as the seller is willing to pay the concession for the real estate agent representing the buyer, then it doesn't cost the buyer anything to have representation. So it's a good idea to consider still having a real estate agent represent you if you're a buyer, even with this new law that went into effect on August 17th. So if you have questions, you want to know what this new law is going to do to protect buyers or sellers, I think it hurts buyers. Me personally, I think it hurts buyers because now there's less incentive for a real estate agent to represent a buyer if the seller's not going to pay them a commission. And I think it hurts buyers because you may not see all the homes that are available for sale on the marketplace because your real estate agent isn't going to tell you about those other homes that they're not going to get paid a commission on. They're not even going to bring them up.
So this is really going to hurt the buyers, and it's going to hurt the sellers. It's going to hurt the whole industry unless they learn how to navigate this. What I want to know is, I think a lot of the people listening want to know is, what are some of the specific things that could go wrong if you are not represented?
Well, what happens if the property doesn't appraise for the purchase price? You know, in Orange County, we're getting 30 offers on one property, right? If the property doesn't appraise for the purchase price and you're putting 20% down, guess what? Houston, you're going to have a problem. You're going to have a real big problem. What happens on the home inspection items? Who are you going to use for your home inspection? Who's your home inspector going to be? Where do you find one of those guys? Don't use the home inspector that the realtor representing the seller tells you to use, because who puts food on that home inspector's table?
Right. They want to keep getting hired.
They want to tell, oh yeah, this house is great, there's nothing wrong with it. Well, that may or may not be true. So there's a lot of things that you need to do to protect yourself when you're buying and selling today. And I could go on and on with all the would-haves and could-haves, but if you want good representation, I'm like your bodyguard. I'm gonna protect you like I would a superstar or, you know, a famous person or an athlete. That's the way that I am genetically built. You know, I want to make sure that you're going to get good representation. I'm going to treat it as if it was my mother, my brother, or closest friend.
Actually, you do kind of look like you could protect this superstar. You're kind of buff, dude.
Or overweight, one of the two. But anyways, for you guys who are interested in talking to me about this, buying, selling, whatever the case may be, 714-403-7334, 714-403-7334. That is my personal cell phone. You're going to reach me directly when you call. That's Cal Saul. I'm Fred Solomon. You're listening to the Solomon Free Money Hour, and we'll be right back. Once you start seeing the U.S. economy gaining jobs, I'm telling you, interest rates are going up. Where do you think rates will be 5 years from now? Rates will not stay this low forever. Hi, I'm Fred Solomon of Solomon Financial Mortgage. We specialize in no points, no fees, and no closing cost loans. We pay for title, escrow, appraisal, credit report. All the costs you paid for when you purchased or refinanced your home last time, well, this time you won't have to because we do. So basically, you lower your rate, lower your monthly payment, and it doesn't cost you anything. Even if your rate drops 0.25%, it makes sense. Discover why these zero-cost loans are the best option out there and make the most sense.
And we're back with the Solomon Free Money Hour, the show that teaches you what you need to know about real estate finance, and real estate investment. And we're talking about the real estate industry now because of the new measure that's been put out there where people just don't automatically get commissions for representing others.
Representing a buyer specifically.
Yeah, buyer, yeah.
So what I was talking about during the first segment was, you know, if sellers aren't willing to pay a concession to the real estate agent representing the buyer, and the buyers have to ask for it on the real estate contract when they write the RPA, which is the residential purchase agreement. So now realtors who are representing buyers have to ask for the seller to pay that concession. So it's a new thing. This is like historic. You know, there was a big lawsuit and they won, and most of the money went to the attorneys, so it's not to the affected parties, it's to the attorneys. And I don't know who paid all that money, but it was $340 something million. So it's a big deal. And so when you're buying a house today, you can't just go and call up the person on the sign and say, I want to see this house right now. You got to sign an agreement, and it's going to take a little time for you to do that. But it still can be done the same day. It's just going to take an hour or two, and you got to have access to DocuSign. I mean, you can do it through your phone and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I refinanced with you, Fred, and it was the best experience one could have refinancing. I mean, it's never fun because there's a lot of paperwork, but everything was so transparent. Everything was right there before me. You explained what everything was, where every little dollar was going, and then you explained how you could do this for free because you're going to get a rebate at the end of all this, and you'll just pay all of the fees with your rebate, which I thought was amazing, especially since you have a match and beat guarantee.
Yeah, the rebate, typically on, let's say, a $600,000 loan, the rebate would be about 2 percentage points, which is about $12,000. The closing costs, escrow, title, credit report, appraisal fee, underwriting, processing, all those fees add up to be about $4,000. So out of the $12,000 that we make, we take $4,000, pay all your fees and costs. We make the difference, $8,000, and the borrowers, they pay zero. And that's the benefit of dealing with Solomon Financial. Now, we know that interest rates are coming down in September. It is a 100% chance, according to CMEgroup.com. It's a website that tracks the likelihood of the Fed lowering interest rates and what the probability is of that happening. But it's a 100% chance at the next Fed meeting in September that interest rates are going to come down. So let's say you refinance or you buy a house and you close today. Do you know with Solomon Financial that after 4 payments that we can go ahead and refinance you to the lower rate for free, and it's not going to cost you anything the first time or the second time to do that? Now, a lot of people don't offer zero-cost loans. So they're in process right now, and they're getting ready to pay a bunch of points, fees, and closing costs. But we know rates are coming down. Right? So if you were a halfway intelligent person, average intelligent.
At this station, we have a lot of those.
Oh, well, maybe smarter than me, but smarter than a 5th grader, that TV show. But what will happen is after you pay those closing costs and you go and refinance, you just threw all that money away. You flushed it down the toilet. With Solomon Financial, you can do a zero-cost loan when you purchase and a zero-cost loan when you refi. So if you know anybody getting ready to pay points, fees, and closing costs, scream at them, yell at them. It's 6:40 in the morning. Like, call them up and say, no, don't do that. I heard this guy on the radio. He sounds like he knows what he's talking about. Give him a call, 714-403-7334. Our rate is probably going to be the same rate as what they're paying and with costs because I'm the owner of the company. And when you go and get a loan from somebody, who would you rather get a loan from? Like a loan officer, the manager of the office, or the owner of the company? When you buy a car, who would you rather go buy a car from? The car salesman, the assistant manager, general manager, or the owner? Those are your options. But if you know the owner, there's a good chance you're probably going to get a better deal if you go directly to the owner. And that's the case in mortgage lending as well. So I'm the owner. I'm Fred Solomon. Here's my personal cell phone number. You're going to call me directly, and I will answer the phone. 714-403-7334. You can send me a text message there, 714-403-7334. I know it's early on Sunday morning. Call me, hang up, text me, whatever you want to do. I will answer the phone, 714-403-7334.
Welcome back to the Solomon Free Money Hour, the show that's here to teach you what you need to know about real estate finance, and real estate investment. And we're here with Fred Solomon, our real estate guru, who's been at this for over 30 years and doing a show here in Los Angeles for over 15 years?
18 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really long time. You've been helping people out for a long time out here, Fred. You've helped me personally. You've helped a lot of people that I know here in the radio industry, and I'm grateful for it. I saved almost $1,000 a month when you refinanced me, and you did it with no points, no fees, no closing costs. So I couldn't ask for more.
So you're a live testimonial, Cal.
I am.
Not only are you the hair club president for men, you're also a client.
I wish I was a client. I should be. I'm kind of losing hair right here.
All right. Well, thanks, Cal. And I appreciate doing business with you. Cal's one of the radio executives here at Odyssey. And if you want to, advertise on this station, that's a great station to advertise on. And why don't you give them your contact info, Cal, so you can let them know who to talk to when it comes to this stuff.
Absolutely. If you want to do a show like this, or you want to run commercials on KNX or another station like K-Rock or any of the other ones here in the Odyssey, under the Odyssey umbrella, give me a call at 661-212-9181. That's 661-212-9181, and my name is Cal Saul. Sounds like Call Saul, but there's one less L, Cal Saul.
Go see Cal. That's all I got to say. Go see Cal. So he's a great guy. I've been using him for probably 10, 15 years now. We've known each other. So I highly recommend that you guys reach out to him. Anyways, I'm working with the buyer right now, and some buyers can be a little frustrating. Let's just be real for a second, okay? And this guy thinks that real estate prices are coming down. The market softening up. And in the Palm Springs and Palm Desert area where I'm showing him properties, because I have an office out there and also in Newport Beach, and I can service all the areas in between because I'm in between both locations all the time. But in the Palm Springs and Palm Desert area, there are home prices that are seeing a lot of down arrows, meaning that prices are dropping out there. And there's certain areas that are doing really well, like La Quinta in the Cove area. That area is really hot, and there's other areas like where I live in India where it's, vacation rentals, and vacation rentals aren't so hot ticket anymore. Then those prices of those properties are coming down. It's a buyer's market, a strong buyer's market. So I just want everybody to know that this guy thinks that property values are coming down. So we've written an offer. It was a $515,000 property, and we wrote an offer for $439,000. And I have to apologize to the listing agent and say, hey, it's my buyer, it's not me. He's well aware of what the comps are, blah blah blah. And here's what I had to say to the listing agent. I'm a committed realtor. So I just keep on showing him places, letting him make his own decisions about what he wants to handle, how he wants to handle his offers. Because I've been working with some clients for 2 years, committed, and these guys think that they can get everything at a lower price, and then some of them, they never end up buying. And that's the lovely business we're in. And I get paid $0 until we close a deal. But I'm committed. I'm like the Chucky doll. I'm your friend to the end.
Well, yeah. And that's the cool thing that I like about you is that you're honest. And it's not just about making the money. You're just trying to help your clients. You're trying to help your customers. And no matter what it takes, you even give people advice not to work with you. Like you were telling me before, when people are getting offers, like a lot of times you turn people down.
It just depends if it makes sense or not. But you didn't like that Chucky reference, Cal. I thought that was a good one. I'm your friend to the end. Okay, well, anyways, that was a gross. I think it was my friend's dad that produced that movie. Anyways, so what else are we going to talk about? Let's talk about. And this is one of the things I said to my buddy, who I'm a committed real estate agent too. Own your home for 7 years. Own your home for 7 years. Own your home for 7 years. If you own your home for 7 years, even if the prices of the home drop after you purchase it, as long as you can keep the property for 7 years, guess what? It's going to be worth the same or more than what you paid for it with historical data. That is the historical data. Mm-hmm. That as long as you own it for 7 years, goes down after you purchase, it will still be worth more than what you paid for it. We also have a book that we wrote called Put Your Money Where Your House Is. And in chapter 2 of my book, I help people who are having credit issues or their scores are a little bit lower than what they would like. We can help you raise your credit scores. I'll give you a free copy of that book. You need to text me your email address and say, I would like a copy of your book, Fred. Free, 100%. 714-403-7334. Just text me your email. Tell me you want a copy of the book. We'll give you a free copy. I have a condo in Hawaii that I own for people who have given me referrals. A lot of my clients listen to our show, and because they're up at 6:30 or 45 in the morning on a Sunday morning, I would probably be sleeping if it was me, but that's okay. Maybe playing pickleball. I usually go around 7 o'clock. So 714-403-7334. For those of you that have given me a referral, we have a condo in Hawaii that we let our clients stay at who have given us referrals for mortgage or real estate. And those are just some of the perks of knowing Fred Solomon and my company. It's just my way of saying thank you. We always say on our show that BS is not a swear word. It means before Solomon. If you want honest advice, you've come to the right place, because before Solomon, you might have gotten a lot of BS, but once you deal with us, we're going to shoot you straight. It's Sunday morning. Go have a good rest of the weekend, Cal. I'm Fred Solomon, 714-403-7334. We'll see you next Sunday. Bye-bye. Hi, it's Fred Solomon. We have a new YouTube and TikTok channel called the Solomon Free Money Hour. Like, subscribe, follow, turn on alerts, and you're going to learn some really good stuff that we talk about on the radio each and every week.
This show furnished by Solomon Financial Mortgage and Realty.